All right, guys, what's up? This is Insanity here for Echo Asylum, and I have the honor of interviewing Ryan Mccombs, the lead singer of Soil. How's it going today, dude?
It's going. I'm dandy. The day is dandy. It's. I can't complain right now. It's hot outside. I hate that crap, but other than that, it's wonderful.
Yeah, dude, I got in my car today, and it was like, so I felt like a freaking sauna. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna melt before I even get a chance to drive off. So we were talking a little bit before the interview. You said you guys are back home. How long have you guys been home, and when are you guys in a songwriting process right now? Are you guys just kind of chilling, taking some time off?
We're just chilling, taking some time off. We were hitting it there pretty hard with the first two singles of the new album, Whole, and we just summertime. It's like if you're not on one of two or three big tours, then you're kind of just spinning your wheels out there. And the way the music industry has changed and everything, you can't afford to spin your wheels anymore, at all.
Yeah.
So it was better for us just to kind of come home and spend a little time sleeping in our own beds and kind of re-energizing. Us old men, we need to do that once in a while. It's been kind of a nice little change of pace for us, but come home, re-energize, and get ready for this next run here, starting in September here in the States, and then hitting Europe and the UK right after that. So
yeah, man,
getting some energy, building up our energy, getting our legs back underneath of us.
That's right, man. That old age will do that to you, brother. I might have to get you a walking cane or something. You sound like you're falling apart.
I probably got 3 already bought for me at this point.
Well, there you go. Okay, fuck it. I'll get you a hover around then, dude.
No,
there you go.
We're moving up in the world.
I know, right? Hey, I'll just buy it on somebody else's dime because I ain't got the damn money. But
well, everybody that hears this, they see me on the next tour. They're like, that jackass is just going back and forth on stage on the hover round. Now you know who you can blame.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they'll come by and they'll kick me in the nuts. Be like, what'd you do? Be like, oh, sorry, didn't know.
Lazy piece of crap.
I know, right?
He's on a hover round.
He's encouraging him. Stop it. So let me ask you. Now you said you're going out in September. Who are you going out on tour with?
September, we've got it's various. We start the run with a festival up in Fort Wayne with All That Remains and Non-Point, and then it's kind of various. So we do some casino dates with Tantric. And I think a couple other dates with Tantric that aren't necessarily casino dates, but some dates with Tantric.
Awesome.
And then just some headline dates with some locals. It depends on which state you're pointing at. We originally had a couple things planned up there with like a big cruise that we were going on towards the end of September, and we actually put these dates together in order to make our way to the leaving point of for that cruise, and the cruise ended up getting canceled. So we kept those dates though, because if we put our name on something, unless one of us has got a leg hanging off or my throat's in my pocket or something like that, we're going to keep the dates. So we kept these dates, and just looking forward to getting back out there again.
Hell yeah, man! I'm sure the fans would greatly appreciate that. And I guess the cruise being canceled is a good or bad thing, depending on if you get seasick or not. So I've heard some people bitch about being on tour, being on tour on a cruise ship, and they don't like it. Other bands just eat that shit up. So are you one of the ones that loves being on a cruise?
We did Shiprock when I was in Drowning Pool. We did Shiprock a few years back, and the guys that put it on, and the experience was super awesome. But I myself, and I would do it again. Not just for myself, I would do it again because we just got offered. I was all for it because the rest of the guys hadn't done it before, the rest of the Soil guys. So I was all for it for their experience, and I was looking forward to doing it in a different environment. I took a guest with me on that last cruise that I did do that just made it hell on earth. So it had nothing to do with the cruise itself. But at the same time, man, one of my favorite memories of that cruise was sitting up. We were the first band to play. You played a few different times during the 3 or 4 day cruise, and we were the first band to play on the first day up on the deck as we were leaving the shore. And I remember stopping for a second and thanking everybody for coming out to Shiprock. And without you all, it would be worthless because I hate the sun, I hate the beach, I hate the sand, I hate the water, I hate small children's laughter, I hate puppy dogs, I hate flowers, I hate rainbows. I'm going on and on about this, and I swear to you, I am not crapping you at all. The rest of the tour, every time a fan or somebody would walk up to me, they'd be like, hey, will you sign this? And they would have like some small talk real quick, and then they would get this troubled look on their face, and they'd look at me and they'd be like, so do you really hate puppy dogs? out of everything, that I said, that's the one thing they heard. I was like, no, who the hell? I mean, the Grinch didn't hate didn't hate puppy dogs. That was not joking around. But
that's sacred, man. Puppy dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, screw the kids and the flowers and all that. Do you really hate puppy dogs, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. Puppy dogs are more valued than a child. What's up with that? I know it's cool though, but I guess because dogs are so loyal and kids whine, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But,
In today's generation of kids, I can see exactly why that is.
Oh yeah. We're not going to go into that. We could talk all day. I'm sure the listeners don't want to hear all that BS. Maybe after the interview. So that's cool, man.
I can't walk into a Walmart. I can't walk into a Walmart anymore without having to scream, "Fat kid!" Oh
yeah, that's awesome. I hate puppy dogs. I'm gonna put that as my status. Say Ron told me to say that. So let me ask you. Let me get on a bit of a serious side here. I always wondered with you guys. I know you left Soil for a while, and you end up being, like you said, the lead singer of Drowning Pool, which is a really cool gig too. But was there some sort of difference of opinion or artistic difference of opinion, or was it just something where you just kind of wanted to focus on your life at that time?
When I left, as far as public awareness goes, as far as what I said in interviews and everything, was just always, hey, we got a wife and kids at home, which I did at the time. It was time for me to go home and be a full-time husband and father, and I left it at that. I didn't want to stir up any dirt, and what is what is, and whatever. I was done with it. I moved on. But yeah, of course, there were definitely personality problems. I mean, there were personality problems before we ever released Scars. I actually, at one point, had my truck loaded up, and it was Adam that talked me out of quitting. And that was before we even recorded Scars, before we even got signed to the label that we released Scars on. So, I mean, it was actually right before we did the demo that we got signed from, that we did Scars. So, I mean, that album just about didn't happen, because I was packed and ready to go. There were very big, strong personality differences within the band at that time, and being stuck on a tour bus together for years. And when we toured. I mean, I think the first 13 months of touring for the album Scars, if you took 3 days here and the 2 days there and everything and added them up that we actually had off at home, for the first 13 months, we only had 2 to 3 weeks worth of days at home.
Hopefully you guys weren't at each other's throats, but you might have been, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best of friends are going to be at each other's throats at that point. So, I mean, when you put in the mix, there was already some personality differences. There was, by the end of the touring cycle for Redefine, it was time for me just to part ways. And not just that, but I've also learned in my old age, I've learned that I just have this issue with 7 years. You always hear about that 7-year hump, but like the relationship I was in, the romantic or whatever relationship I was in before I got married lasted 7 years. My marriage lasted 7 years. I was with Soil for 7 years before I quit. I was with Drowning Pool for 7 years before we parted ways.
Wow.
And so that's just my thing, I guess. My current girlfriend looks at me and she's just like, so it's been a year. Wow, we got 6 more, huh? Like,
yeah. Enjoy them while they're here. Better get while getting's good, But so are you gonna, for this time for Soil? I mean, it seems like you guys are still going strong. You plan on getting over that 7-year hump and finally jumping in the deep water, the deep end there?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you think about it, and I just celebrated my 40th birthday.
Oh well, happy birthday, man!
Oh, thank you. And so I'm not sure if there's another. Well, we got back together. Technically, we got back together in 2012 sometime. I think towards the end of it. So we're already 2 years in. I don't know.
Oh man, you can do it, man.
5 years out there.
Ryan Mccombs rocking on stage with, rolling around his hover around at 55. That'd be cool, man. Hey, James Hetfield still does it. He's like older than the dirt, dude. He's like he must be like 130 by now, dude. He is old fucker, but he's still.
James Hetfield made enough money in the 90s that he can do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah, dude. That is true, man. Well, they all got money coming out of every orifice in their body. I think.
He could buy a team of squirrels to drag him on a sleigh around the stage if he wanted to.
That's a nice visual, man. That's a nice visual.
There's a big difference on what a business has allowed James to do and what the business has allowed Ryan to do.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, you guys, I know that a lot of the fans, they don't really take it for granted, but they don't think they really understand exactly what goes into all the performances, and you guys bust your ass. You don't make a whole lot of money. People think that you're rich because you're on stage and playing in front of them, but sometimes it's pretty rough out there, man. It can get brutal. I know. I've seen it. I was mystified by the whole music thing, and then 4 years ago I'd meet you and I'd be like all girly girl about it, but now it's just like, hey, they're regular people too, and they go through rough times just like us, and it's kind of cool to know that now, But let me get back to the previous question real quick. I want to follow up with that. What was the transition like when you finally made up with the band, the band members and stuff, and came back to Soil? Was there a transition period where you're like kind of uncomfortable, or was it just kind of a natural transition back into it because you've done it for 7 years before?
We got rid of the uncomfortable part for the most part. We got rid of the uncomfortable part way before we ever walked into a room together again. We had a lot of things to kind of get over. After I left, me and Adam stayed in touch for a little bit, and then even our communication went away. But that wasn't anything negative. I just don't communicate with anybody. I mean, my own family, as far as like parents or siblings, we're doing good if we talk to each other. Me and my parents are better nowadays, but especially as of a couple of years ago, we'd be doing good if we talked maybe twice a month.
Oh wow!
So I'm not a reach out. I don't know. My days kind of run into each other way too much for my own good.
Yeah.
So me and Adam, our communication ceasing wasn't necessarily a sign of something bad. I just don't. I'm not a big communicator. But eventually, Adam and I started talking again more and more. And after some of the big issues between myself and the Soil members started to fade away and got wrapped up and taken care of, then my communication with Tim started to get a little more, started to happen a little more often. And but Adam and I think we were both in the same boat, that we just kind of missed writing with each other. And because it was the two of us through those first two records. I mean, I lived in his garage.
Oh wow!
Those years.
And Scars was an amazing album, by the way, too. Scars was. I still have that in my CD case, man. That's man. The first time I heard you sing, man, I was like, oh, dude, I got it. This band is just, they're the shit, man. I mean, I followed you throughout Drowning Pool and everything too, man.
I appreciate it. That was the making the and I'm not taking anything away. Adam, whether it was anybody in the band that came up with riffs, which Tim was a good riff, for being a bass player, Tim was a good riff guy. But no matter who came up with the riffs, it really was Adam that built the song musically. And with me, basically, we rehearsed in the part of the garage that I slept in.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't going to sleep until that song was done. So when everybody else was done with the rehearsal and left, with Adam laying there on the floor and doodling with this riff, and me sitting there listening to what he was doing, writing the lyrics, like being, okay, make that a chorus or make that a verse or do that riff this many times or whatever. That's what made those albums was kind of him and I in that room together. Just he was the musical guy. No matter who came up with the riff, it was Adam that created the song out of it. And I think we both just missed writing together. So we started getting in contact more and more frequently, probably starting in 2008 or so, and that just kept increasing. And finally, like I said, me and Tim started talking again, and everything just snowballed from there. It was hey, do you want to do this reunion tour? This is basically 10th anniversary of Scars tour over in the UK, and it fell within a window of my touring with Drowning Pool that just made sense, and the Drowning Pool guys were cool with it, so we did it and just had a hell of a good time.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome. And I guess sometimes stuff just clicks, and I guess with you being older too, and you guys, when with old age comes wisdom sometimes, unless you're just a fucking idiot. But I know you guys aren't fucking idiots, so with old age, I guess you guys get wiser, and you guys just kind of seem like, sometimes I'm like, why did we ever do that in the first place? And then I guess it just kind of clicks because you guys always seem to, at least on the albums, have a certain kind of charisma, and maybe it's kind of like a family type. Bickering you guys have, and I'm glad you guys got over it because, like I said, you, in my opinion, can do no wrong because as a vocalist, you have probably the single most identifiable voice in music today. I mean, I really think that your voice is magical. I hate to use that term, but It's magical, dude, because I don't know how you got, like, you've got the perfect, like, blend of a clean tone with that raspiness. And I'm wondering, where did you get that? Who were your main influences when you started actually singing?
I have no idea where. I think that came from Marlboros. I think that was yeah. That came from Marlboros, and when I was younger, probably a certain amount of THC. But that was. I have no idea where that all came from because I definitely never took it. I think for me when I listened to it, it's apparent because I don't think very highly of my personal ability. So, I've never taken any vocal training or done anything like that. So I've just, luckily for myself, I was just able to do it. I mean, back in the very beginning of being in like local bands in Indiana before I joined Soil, we were looking for a singer for the longest time because I played bass for years.
Oh, okay.
And we wrote this original song, and we were trying out singers. And finally, one day, I was so fed up with trying these singers all the time, and I took the cassette tape. That tells you how long ago it was. I took the cassette tape into the other room, and I played it, and I started singing along with it to what I heard. And the song got over with, and everybody was sitting in the room all quiet. I was like, man, it sucked. I'm thinking, God, that must have really sucked. And then everybody was like, dude, why are you playing bass? We can find another bass player. You need to sing. But I was like, no, it's not a chance of that. And I continued to play bass for years. But I don't know where it came from. My mom had a sweetheart and a great and wonderful mom as I was blessed to have. She did have the ability to raise her voice quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I bet.
when the need be. So I probably have a lot of it to thank her for. But no, I have no idea where it came from, and I really appreciate the kind words you threw my way on that. I'm not a big fan of myself. The way I see it now, I've been blessed with two amazing guitar players in my career to write with CJ and Adam.
Hell yeah,
just,
man.
Two great songwriters, because myself musically, I can't play anything. I played piano for years as a child, but I don't remember. I can play like 4 bars of the Marines hymn nowadays. That's all I know.
Oh, there you go.
That's all I got. And so as far as picking up a guitar or anything, I'm useless. So luckily for me in my career, I've been blessed with C.J. Pierce and Adam Zadell as far as being able to write with. And even back in the days of being in Indiana, just the Bob Williamses and the Adam Lotuses and Larry Songers and just the really talented guitar players that I've got to know over the years and got the ability to throw lyrics on their music has been amazing.
Hell yeah, man. Well, that's pretty cool that everything just kind of clicked for you. It's almost like it was meant to be for you to be a lead singer and even be the lead singer of Soil. And I have the same thing too. I think my voice is crap, and everybody's like, man, you should be on radio. You got a great voice. I'm like, shut the hell up. You're messing with me, dude. Stop it. And
we're always our worst enemy.
I know, right? It's like, I think everything I do is crap, but that's something we have inside ourselves, though. But I know, God, I could talk to you. I could do an interview for like an hour with you, dude. You're so cool. But let me ask you one more thing, and actually, because one of our other writers actually recently interviewed Bobby Amaru of Saliva, and I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start this with you, Ryan. So no pressure, though, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna pass a question along to you that comes from Bobby Amaru, and you have to give me another question for the next person I interview. Sound like a deal?
All right, I'll do my best.
Okay, all right. So Bobby Amaru's question was, what's the longest while touring you've went without a shower?
This is Bobby's Saliva, right?
Yeah, Bobby, obviously, yep, that's same Bobby.
Yeah, I can't help but crack up when I hear that question, knowing the fact that he had Paul in the band. I know exactly where this is coming from. Man, I wish I could share some stories of that. But anyway, back in the days, back in my earliest run with Soil, I was a freak. I didn't drink back then or anything, so I was, even if it meant we went back to the bus driver's room at night, and I showered in his room, I didn't care. Every night I had a shower. It did not matter what was going on. I would pull the lead singer card, the LSD, whatever. I was getting a shower. Since I drink nowadays, it's like sometimes I get a little tipsy enough and I really don't care that much. But even now, I'd say probably the longest I've gone is maybe 3-4 days.
Is that the point where other band members are like, yo, bro, you smell like a dead hooker's like blanket. You need to take a shower. Is that what they say?
Well, gladly, I've never gotten that, but no. Because I'll wash the head, even on a day that I don't necessarily have a shower to jump into. I'll still throw my head underneath the sink faucet, but I'll wash my hair at the venue if I have to, just to feel a little bit more normal. But about every 3 or 4 days, at least, at the longest, I need to jump in a shower. I'm a wuss when it comes to that. I'm not one of those guys on tour that wears the same set of clothes for a week and can go 2 or 3 weeks without a shower.
I got you.
Grody,
dude.
2 or 3 shirts a day.
Yeah, dude, that's grody. Well, you know what? If worse comes to worse and you're at that 4-day period, you could always just pick a few hot chicks out of the crowd and have them like lather you down with, like instead of doing the car with the bikini babes, you could just be like, okay, here's Ryan, and it's like, okay, have at it, ladies. Make sure they get all the important areas. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, one time at Sturgis, we were all backstage, and there was this girl backstage, and we had this roadie with us, guitar tech. I called him Smiley because the dude was just always in such a great mood. And young, very, very well, good-looking young fella. And we were all backstage. There was a bunch of porn stars at the show that night, and they were all backstage partying with us and everything. And he comes walking through, and I see him head for the bathroom, and that's where the shower is. And I was standing there for a minute. I was like, "Ladies, would you mind coming with me?" And they're like, "Oh, absolutely." So they follow me into the shower area, and I open up that shower door, and he's just like, "What?" And I'm safe with this because I'm the only one that ever referred to him as Smiley, so I'm not telling on anybody here. So he turns around, he's like, "What the?" Kind of like, "What are you doing?" And then all of a sudden he sees all these girls with me, and I turn around to him. I was like, "Ladies, would you mind helping my pal here out?"
Oh,
and they're like, "Yeah." And they start just climbing in the shower with him.
Oh.
Fast forward about 45 minutes later, I'm sitting on the bus, and he comes walking on, and he walks right by me and stops. Doesn't look at me, stops, and just mutters, "I love you, man."
You've got a rough life, my friend. You've got it so rough. Oh my God, I would hate to be you. Jesus, no, that's pretty funny, man. So I know we got to wrap up. Before I get your links and stuff, man, I got to talk to you outside of this interview. It's funny. You're a cool dude. Okay, so give me a question you'd like to pass on to the next person I interview. What question you got for him?
Who you interviewing?
I don't know.
You got up yet?
I don't know.
Up yet?
Whoever I feel like interviewing, I guess.
Oh, man. I feel like to be a complete jerk and be like, what's that one story that you never told your wife?
That one story? No. That's going to be it. That one story. You know what? True story here. I actually was asking, my first interview, I was nervous as fuck. I was interviewing Nonpoint when they came here to Knoxville, Tennessee. And I've heard that, Rob is kind of like a family man. He's kind of a family man. He don't really like to share his stories. So I was on the bus and I was like, so what kind of crazy fan stories, what kind of crazy shit have you guys done? Like on the, on tour and stuff, what's the craziest thing? And Rob's just like kind of like do the cut neck kind of symbol. And he's like, nah, because I think that Rashad was about to tell me like some sort of juicy story. And Rob's like, nah, we're going to cut this shit out. We're not going to, he didn't part of it.
I knew Rob well enough that you're absolutely right. I mean, he is all about his family, and that dude is all about business when he's on the road. He's all about business and family. He's very serious about what he does, which is why they've been around as long as they are. I mean, one of the reasons they're one of my favorite bands because their seriousness about their craft comes out in their music for sure. But with knowing Rob also, I'm guessing that he was either giving you the cut next thing with either the, no, let's just cut this, let's not do this, or maybe his crazy stories when he broke somebody's neck, because he is a big son of a gun.
He is a big dude, but he's got some mad skills too, man. I can't wait to interview those dudes again, man. But hey, man, I greatly appreciate all the time. Let's go ahead and give everybody your social links so you can get back to your home time and doing all whatever it is you do when you're at home.
Appreciate it. You want me to give the links?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You're the man, dude. You're the man with the plan.
Man, I know we have our personal page at www.soiltheband.com. You can find us on Facebook, of course. I don't have that right off the top of my head, but I'm thinking it's something along the lines of Soil Official, Soil the Band Official, maybe. I don't know. I myself have my own personal page going, which is Ryan Mccombs Official.
Cool.
Facebook page, and eventually, I'm also on that Instagram crap under Ryan Mccombs 37, and eventually we'll get Soil on there. I pushed through that about 5 weeks ago, so we'll get Soil on the old IG as well. But yeah, we're on everything, man. All you gotta do is take a peek. I wish I had everything memorized like that.
No, that's cool, man.
I'm from Indiana, and that's as good as I can do.
Hey, that's all good, brother, man. That's all I need, man. And for the fans and the listeners that are listening, it's Facebook.com/soilmusic. I'll give Ryan a little assist there.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, man, I greatly appreciate you taking time to talk with us here at Echo Asylum, and you enjoy your time off. And dude, I'd love to come to one of your shows, man, and hang out with you guys and talk a little bit more deeply about some of the stuff that maybe young ears can't hear.
I got you, man. You just give us a heads up if you're able to make a show. We'll definitely take care of you.
Yeah, dude, I greatly appreciate it. And all right, guys, well, this has been Insanity here with the lead singer of Soil, Ryan Mccombs, a fucking man. And we'll catch you next time, rockers. Take care.